My name's Hannah. I'm 29. I live in London.
It's 2022 and Hannah has just started messaging a new guy. She's single and matched with him on a dating app. He's tall and muscly with short hair and a serious face. In lots of his pictures, he's at the gym. But Hannah says she gets a bit of a weird vibe from him over messages and decides to unmatch. A few weeks later, she's with a friend who's showing her an Are We Dating the Same Guy group. It's one of a growing number of Facebook pages dedicated to exposing cheating boyfriends.
When I was with my friend one time, we were looking at these groups and I saw a guy that I'd matched with and had a conversation with.
It's the muscly guy with the pictures at the gym. She asks her friend to click on the post to see what other people are saying about him.
And someone said, oh yeah, this guy has been posted before. He's actually in jail for killing someone.
I'm Megan Lawton, a journalist with BBC Trending. For this episode, we're entering the online world of Are We Dating the Same Person? And looking at the reaction from some men, which takes us to some pretty dark places. Just a heads up, there will be some discussion of revenge porn and child sexual abuse material. Are We Dating the Same Guy groups are something I've been following for more than 2 years now. I first joined the London group mainly out of curiosity. To join, I had to prove I understood the rules of the page, like no screenshotting, no bullying or sharing information outside of the group. Inside, there were thousands of posts, but this was just one group. Around the world, there are hundreds more for individual cities and regions.
So the Are We Dating the Same Guy group started a couple years ago, kind of in reaction to dating apps and girls finding out that they were dating the same guy in a certain city. And essentially, girls post if they're worried that the guy that they've recently met or been seeing is on dating apps, is dating other people. And it's also been about potentially toxic behavior, abusive behavior.
But posts on the group aren't always negative.
Sometimes you'll get genuinely girls who've had positive experiences with this guy. Like I saw one and a guy was posted and a girl who had gone on a date with him last year said, you know, he's a lovely guy. We just weren't a great match.
Yeah, there's a real high-low spectrum. I think I've seen mums in the comments saying, that's my son, he's a lovely boy. And these pages are moderated, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. No nude pictures or anything of the like can be posted. No addresses or personal details. Those would just get automatically banned as soon as they were reported to Facebook. But also there are internal moderators on these groups, and they're very, very strict that no one is allowed to make any judgments about people's appearance and that kind of thing.
Let's get back to what happened when Hannah saw a man she'd been talking to on the page. The post was from an anonymous member, included a few photos and read, "Any info? He seems too keen." In the comments on the post,
there was a news article posted along with it, and I clicked on it, and he'd got in a fight with someone and he'd ended up killing someone, and he was in jail on a manslaughter charge. So I don't know how he'd got this phone in jail, but he was talking to women from his jail phone, and I'd been speaking to a guy that killed someone without actually knowing.
And what was your reaction when you saw all of that?
It was terrifying. I've seen rapists on dating apps. I've seen my friends rapists on dating apps. You genuinely don't know who you're talking to.
Some, like Hannah, believe these groups have been invaluable for their safety. Hannah showed me photos of the man she was messaging, the same man we've also seen in articles relating to his manslaughter charge. But these groups aren't without fault. Several men have told us their personal information, including addresses, were included in the group. And in the US last year,
a Chicago man is suing after his name and photo were included in a disparaging post on a popular Facebook group. It's called Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Elsewhere, legal cases have been filed by men in Los Angeles, Australia and Canada, all accusing women of posting harmful and unproven claims, as reported by ABC News in America.
It's a he said, she said playing out on social media in Facebook groups all across the country.
So I'm Matt Napier. I was posted in the Are We Dating groups back in January of 2023.
When a female friend sent Matt Napier a post featuring him, at first he tells us he didn't take it too seriously.
I was kind of just laughing at it because it was kind of silly, but then I saw some of the comments, and the comments were really horrible, and it was from people that I didn't even know.
Matt works in cybersecurity and lives in Ohio in the US. He says the post was from a woman he'd dated for a couple of months before breaking it off.
I met her at a really bad point in my life. My mother passed away. I was already on Bumble and wasn't expecting on dating anyone, but we matched and we talked for a little bit and we went out for a little bit, and I just decided I didn't want to date her. We went our own ways, and then about 2 months later, I saw that I was posted in that group. Well, she posted me in that group.
Matt says the post accused him of leading women on.
Basically was saying that I would tell you what you wanted to know just to get in bed with you.
And in the comments, he says there were false allegations too.
There was one person that said I dated their friend for 6 months, went by the name of Brian, and told her friend that I had cancer in order to break up with her. And that really angered me and upset me because I've had several people in my family pass away from that. At that point, I wanted to get stuff taken down. So I started the original group called Victims of Are We Dating the Same Guy back in late June, early July of 2023. I was still getting harassed and I was telling my story. So the only way I felt I could clear my name was to create Victims of Are We Dating the Same Guy on Facebook and post everything there about me and tell them if they have proof, come and out me.
But Matt's group has grown into something else.
I have both men and women actually come in and talk about their stories. And if they need help, I help them get posts taken down because there's women that get harassed in those groups as well.
We finish by asking Matt whether there's ever any merits to Are We Dating the Same Guy groups as a tool to improving women's safety.
I think for every one person, one woman that has been protected, there's been several hundred men who's had their mental well-being just trashed and they're still suffering for it. So I don't think it's worth having these groups because of that.
We contacted the founder of the original Are We Dating the Same Guy group, a woman called Paula Sanchez, but so far we've not heard back. On her website, though, she says she's creating safe and empowering environments for women to thrive in. Empowering environments for women or a potential life ruiner. This story might have started on Facebook, but what happens when a copycat group started by men called Are We Dating the Same Girl appears on the encrypted messaging app Telegram, known to some as the dark web in your pocket? That's coming up next.
Are We Dating the Same Guy? It's the most talked about page in the whole of the UK right now.
Are we dating the same guy? Man, they were cooked.
With all of the attention on pages dedicated to exposing men, it's perhaps no surprise what came next. Initially, it was Facebook groups like Matt's, giving men a chance to share their side of the story. They appeared around the summer of 2023, but it didn't stop there.
Something that I see quite often is sites that are clearly speaking somewhat to men, that they'll post screenshots of women's Tinder bios or other dating app bios with the aim of expressly humiliating them.
There are groups with names like Exposed too, which mock the posts and users from female-only pages. It's something Dr. Joe Whittaker has looked into as Programme Director of Cyber Threats at Swansea University in the UK. He tells me how Are We Dating groups have drawn anger from what's known as the manosphere.
Manosphere is a loose collection of a range of different online communities. The underlying glue that binds them together is really that they believe that men are being discriminated against by all manners of society. They think that for the most part there is a crisis of masculinity, there is a crisis in the dating marketplace.
As retaliation groups began to spread online, something else happened too.
It was through the group Are We Dating the Same Guy?
In January of this year, posts started appearing on the London page, warning women about a group chat on the messaging app Telegram with a familiar name. Are We Dating the Same Girl?
It was numerous of posts about just the boys making Telegrams group.
Jennifer, who is Swedish but based in London, was one of those who saw the posts warning others.
And I saw it as a fun thing to try to get into because I read that they block every single girl if they found out that you're a woman.
She says she found links to the groups on Facebook and in TikTok comment sections.
Honestly, it was really easy. We just made sure that our name wasn't like a female's name. So I took the best boy's name I could find. And yeah, I put a picture that a boy would put in his profile.
We'll be back with Jennifer shortly. First, though, we're heading 180 kilometres north of where she is in London, to Coventry, where 20-year-old university student Moses had also gained access to the group.
I was with my friends, and my friends were the one that introduced me to the whole Telegram group thing and what was going on. So one of them was in it, and I asked if I could join. They were showing me some videos and photos of like what was going on, and I was thinking there's no way this is actually happening right now.
Telegram is one of the world's biggest online messaging platforms and has a notoriously bad record for moderating content. It allows users to post without sharing their name and creates public or private groups with up to 200,000 members, as cyber threats lecturer Joe Whitaker explains.
Now, Telegram is founded by a Russian man and does not comply with any or many court requests. And as a result, it is now relatively safe haven for terrorist organisations, for gangs, for child sexual abuse material, and a whole host of other things that we deem as particularly problematic.
Telegram say these claims are baseless and that it actively combats harmful content on its platform with a team of over 1,000 moderators using custom AI tools which allow them to proactively monitor public parts of the platform and effectively process tens of millions of reports from users and organisations each month. The platform say it removed more than 273,000 groups and channels related to child sexual abuse material and more than 80,000 terrorist-related communities in 2025, adding that Telegram is able to disclose the IP addresses and phone numbers of criminals that breach its terms of service in response to valid legal requests. Moses says when he joined the Telegram group, there were only a few hundred people in it.
It was relatively new when I first seen it, but then as the days kept on going, the amount of people in the group kept on increasing until it reached thousands.
At first, it appeared to contain content similar to its Facebook counterparts.
Yeah, so it'd be like, does anyone know this girl? Has anyone done anything with this girl? Has anyone met this girl? Or it would be along the lines of, this is my girlfriend, but she's acting this certain way with me, or she's done something suspicious. Does anyone know her? And is anyone speaking to her?
But things soon escalated.
So then videos kept on getting sent. That's when it turned to the sexually explicit stuff. And then
It was things you wouldn't want to see as a woman.
Back to Jennifer, who was also reading the messages.
They kept sending pictures, like private pictures of women. They had like sneakily recorded them while having private stuff. It was a lot. I would say that it came about 3 messages per minute. But I had a big brick in my stomach because I just knew that it's someone's sister or someone's auntie, anything, and they don't even know about being posted. So I was so disgusted and I was actually sick to my stomach seeing it.
The group grew in size too.
in the group that I was in was around maybe 6,000. But then at that time, there was multiple groups. There was different groups for different geographical locations.
They were hyping each other up and saying that, oh, can I get her phone number? Can I get her name? I want to text her. I want to see if she's just as good with me and stuff like that.
BBC Trending has spoken to expert organisations who say that some of the Telegram groups contained images of children classified as illegal child sexual abuse material in the UK. But while Moses left the chat, Jennifer did something else.
A few of them posted the names, they would post their Instagram. The first thing I would do is I would screenshot wherever I saw, and then I would actually text the girl and say, hey, I just want to let you know that you're being posted in this group right now, and they're sending private stuff of you. I actually talked on the phone with a few of them, and I had a couple of them that cried because obviously their whole life has been floated to that many men. And me and some other girls contacted the police.
We contacted the UK's National Police Chiefs Council about this, who told us they're working hard and using technology to detect and investigate these crimes. They say several perpetrators have been convicted for sharing sexually explicit images without consent. I've been working on this programme with my producer, Sam Gruet. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Megan.
As part of the programme, we wanted to see if these Telegram groups are still active.
So none of the groups on Telegram with the Are We Dating name are still live. The largest we've seen evidence of had more than 16,000 members, but there were several other smaller groups too.
And one of those had a very similar name to a group that is still active now.
Yeah, which is how we found it on the platform. It has over 1,000 people in it and is full of indecent videos and images of young women. At the time of recording this, it's only been around for a couple of weeks and appears to be a backup of another that was paxed. That's Telegram slang for taken down. Now, many of the videos and images are screen recorded from Snapchat. What's more disturbing, the group admin seems to be charging members for content too, offering so-called subscriptions ranging between £5 and £30 for explicit content. Now, we messaged the admin on the app, who denied running the page, and when challenged further, blocked us on the platform.
Yeah, we've also conferred with the UK charity, the Cyber Helpline, on this. They told us groups that collect, create and sell explicit content for money are illegal, adding that they're becoming more normalised and more common online. We also informed Telegram about what we'd seen on the platform, who told us illegal pornography is expressly forbidden by Telegram's terms of service, adding it removed all groups and channels related to Are We Dating the Same Girl earlier this year, and that its moderators have been swiftly removing any attempts to recreate these groups. The platform says it's ready to abide by the UK's Online Safety Act. The UK's National Police Chiefs Council, who we heard from earlier, want apps including Telegram to do more. They told us tech-enabled crimes are evolving at speed, meaning the police alone cannot keep people safe online. They say it's vital technology companies are held to account for the role they play in removing harmful content from their platforms and should work with law enforcement to stem the tide of sexual abuse online. That's it for this episode of BBC Trending with me, Megan Lawton. This episode was produced by Sam Gruet. Hal Haynes did the sound mixing. Flora Carmichael was our editor. Thanks for listening and goodbye.